since that way I start my black legism after I be attacked by the Ambazonia terrorists. One of the points where they be make can say they be believe say they so some Anglophones they be need for be sacrificed in order for them to achieve their political ambitions. Now why that way they be talk about say we need to shed blood. Say we have to shed blood to gain our independence. So the question was, whose blood are you prepared to shed? And also some people they be think say so you're not supposed to talk as Anglophones, you're not supposed to get an opinion or a say. Not only them, because they carry guns or because they believe in their own small myopic mind, they believe say this so that they represent all Anglophones. But the question is, who gave you the mandate? Because you call yourself a separatist, because you call yourself Ambazonian, because you call yourself or you believe say Cameroon supposed to divide, it don't mean say that all Anglophones they believe in that. And now these kind of people them they radicalize people like me to the level where we had to teach them a lesson. Because all along, even in the SCNC, they will get this motto where they talk say the force of argument and not the argument of force. So the people them in the SCNC where they believe in the argument of force, where they believe say they need for carry guns for teach Pobia a lesson, those people them it was necessary for them for carry the guns, for them for actually use their own ideology, for use force, and now where they don't fail, now where they don't carry the guns and it don't backfire. Now where they be agitate and then the Anglophone population follow them for 2017 and the result now say the Anglophone population it don't become the target of the beginning where they carry the guns, the extortion, the kidnapping for ransom, the illiteracy, the burning down of schools, stopping children from going to schools, and all of those things, the destruction of our economy, making your territory ungovernable. All of those policies and strategies them they be designed for take the Anglophone population backwards. The destruction of anything where Anglophones they don't ever build them, from our culture to our tradition, even the language, to the political parties, the opposition, and all the institutions they don't ever build them. And instead they strengthen the hands of the CPDM. So now the Anglophone population don't withdraw. They don't remove their hands from this nonsense and they just want peace back. Now is the golden opportunity. Now where the people the way they be one force, they don't use the force and they don't fail. In 7 to 8 years, they don't control one last mango. The only thing where they control them now the kidnapping for ransom business and burning down people their taxi inside Bamenda. That is not what the Anglophones wanted. And because the people the way they be want for use force, they don't try them and it don't backfire, they don't fail. Now the golden opportunity for those of us where we be rational, where we get the mind and the intelligentsia for Anglophone community, the people the way they be educated, the elites, for come together. And this one my proposition said the Anglophones they need a conference where it will bring together all the sons and daughters of Anglophone community, where they be in favor of the progress of the Anglophones and not this nonsense called division or separatism. No, we don't triumph and we don't fail. May we accept defeat. Anglophones cannot and will never be able to mount a force that would be able to take territory and hold it and control it with the comparison of the Cameroon military and the military might where Yaoundé get them. It will never happen. And even if it happen, at what cost? Are we prepared to pay the cost? Because I am not. And also, the people the way they believe in separatism, they must reckon with the reality. Say no be not all Anglophones that believe in that ideology. The people the way they inside the Cameroon government, the people they also get interests for protecting, and we don't too much intertwine with the Francophone system and the Francophone brothers across the Mungo for the way the so-called division or separation it no go ever happen. It no be feasible. And two-state federation, that one not just a pipe dream. For the way we don't play our card, we don't show our hand. Say the only thing where people they talk about two-state federation now because we don't fail at separation. So we look at two-state federation as a stepping stone. So that it will give you a breathing space for so-called prepare for and then launch another separatist insurrection in the future. No person no be stupid enough to fall into that trick. And also the Anglophone population in the southwest region, they don't be stupid. They don't try the political union with the northwest and they don't experience the marginalization where it happened during the Foncha years. We know very well KNDP, when they will be in power from 1950s to 1972, in those 11 to 12 years, where John Go Foncha be at the helm of political power inside the southern Cameroons and then later on West Cameroon, they marginalized the population from the southwest. These are just historical facts, and I will quote them for now. For example, the two biggest political positions, the way they be held by the people there from the former southern Cameroons, now either the vice president of the Federal Republic or the prime minister of West Cameroon. For 1961, when we create the federation, John Go Foncha occupied both of those positions. Then he won. He negotiated those positions then for himself. Okay, and then after that, he go to Augustine Gomjoan, then he go to Estimona, and all the people the way they hold those two top positions. Then in all the 11 years of the federation, they be coming out from the northwest region. All of this happened because of the infighting where it happened between John Go Foncha, KNDP, and EML, NDLA, own political party. And the reason that way, by 1966, all the political parties that inside the former West Cameroon, they decide by themselves for dissolve their political parties them for form one party system inside Cameroon because of their own infighting. It will be too much in West Cameroon. These are historical facts. If you don't believe me, go and do your own research for yourself. So going back for the people the way they believe it is, so we never ever join Cameroon, you must then answer this simple question. How was it possible for John Go Foncha for sit in Yaoundé as the vice president of the Federal Republic of Cameroon if he did not take his people and joined Cameroon? That is a simple question.
When Britain had announced publicly that Nigeria was going to become independent as from 1st of October 1960, the Colonial Office hurriedly prepared a constitution for southern Cameroons because on 1st of October, the governor of Nigeria, Sir James Robertson, was to surrender power to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The British government could no longer administer the UN Trust territory, for which they signed an agreement with the Trusteeship Council on 13th of December 1946. They could not hand it over to the sovereign Nigerian government. So on 12th of September 1960, the Colonial Office in London prepared a special constitution for Southern Cameroons called the Southern Cameroon Order in Council 1960. It was put before the British Parliament in Whitehall in London on 16th of September 1960, and it became law on 1st of October 1960, the day Nigeria was granted independence. That constitution provided for Southern Cameroons the post of Commissioner for Cameroons. He more or less inherited the powers hitherto vested in the expatriate Governor General of Nigeria. They took those powers and vested them on the Commissioner for Cameroons, a white man. The Constitution provided for two houses of parliament, the House of Chiefs and the House of Assembly, an independent judiciary, and several others. But it reserved certain powers to the Colonial Office in London. Those powers were foreign affairs and defense, and to some extent taxation. So until the end of the trust over Southern Cameroons, the government of Dr. John Go Foncha had no constitutional authority to discuss the foreign affairs of Southern Cameroons.
You go get people that like Molan Jolit, but their argument now say John Go Foncha and not get the constitutional powers for discuss the foreign affairs of former British Southern Cameroons. At the same time, now the same people in this way, they talk say this, so John Go Foncha be supposed to enter into a union treaty with President Amadou Ahidjo. How can those two things be true? John Go Foncha not get the powers for enter into international treaty because it not be own sovereignty. Now only sovereign states they enter into international agreements or treaties. But John Go Foncha don't ever wield that sovereign power. So how could he then enter into an international agreement with the president of Cameroon, Amadou Ahidjo? It is not possible. You cannot say he did not have the powers to discuss the foreign affairs of Southern Cameroon. At the same time, you want him to enter into a union treaty. And now why that way? Now the United Kingdom, it be enter into that international treaty with President Amadou Ahidjo because now two sovereign states that enter into an international agreement. Now why that way? The United Kingdom, it be signed exchange of notes with President Amadou Ahidjo on the 27th of September 1961, and that document it will be deposited at the United Nations Secretariat the following year for March 1962, and that was the process by which the trusteeship agreement itself was terminated through that exchange of notes for 1961. And now exactly the same document where it terminates the trusteeship agreement for the Cameroons under United Kingdom administration, where it include the Northern Cameroons. So the people, the way they always ask for union treaty, none of them, don't ever articulate the fact, say, you will also expect the Northern Cameroons for get a union treaty with Nigeria, because the same document where it terminated the trusteeship agreement with Southern Cameroons, now exactly the same document, it terminated the same trusteeship agreement where it involved the Northern Cameroons. One document, 6 pages, where it's signed between the British and President Amadou Ahidjo for terminating for Southern Cameroons, and it's signed, the British, they signed with the Nigerian Federation for terminating the contract. As far as the Northern Cameroons is concerned, no union treaty was expected, and I don't know who's how they take this notion, because even if when I want for claim, say now United Nations Charter Article 102, read the Article 102, it will talk and for this member states of the United Nations, and why it will require member states of the United Nations for sign union treaty and then deposit them at the Secretariat. Now, because if you then come in the future for can claim dispute about that treaty, then the United Nations already get an archived copy where they go use them in the process for deliberate and for determine who be right and who be wrong. Now, the only reason that way the United Nations it be right and for Article 102 say member states, when they enter into treaties or international agreements, they need for deposit that agreement with the United Nations Secretariat, so that in the future, if you want to bring a dispute concerning that treaty, the United Nations already get a copy. They go use now their own copy where you deposit them with them in order for check them for know who be right and who be wrong. As they talk for Article 102, member states of the United Nations, which the Southern Cameroons has never been a member. So that Article 102, the requirement, if you enter union treaty or international agreements or any treaty for deposit them at the United Nations, does not apply to the former British Southern Cameroons, because the British Southern Cameroons has never been a member of the United Nations. Make una understand that fact and that reality. So these people, the way they claim say will never ever join Cameroon, they get a big problem. One of the biggest problems, I say, the whole world recognize Cameroon as one. The whole world recognize Nigeria as one. And if you go try for divide Cameroon, then you don't already try for divide Nigeria, because the same resolution 1608 now about the Northern Cameroons as well as the Southern Cameroons, and the exchange of notes where it terminate the trusteeship agreement. It also terminate the agreement for Northern Cameroons and Southern Cameroons, the same document. So if you talk say we never ever join Cameroon, then by extension you'd either talk say the Northern Cameroons to never ever join Nigeria, and by so doing you ostracize yourself and you alienate yourself, because the whole world recognizes Cameroon as one. You now they talk like somebody who is just making noise outside. No person will ever bring you in for listen to where you talk, because you are just a noise maker. So you will become irrelevant. So when I will continue for the talk that noise for the next 30, 40, another 60, 70, 80 years, and you will still be outside making noise. You know, be a member of the African Union. You know, be a member of the European Union. You know, be a member of the United Nations. You know, be a member of no internationally recognized organization. So you could just be an outsider making noise, so nobody will ever take you seriously. Whereas independence means recognition. They need to recognize you. You need to be recognized. You need to have a seat at the table in order for engage in the discussions. When you don't talk, say, we don't ever join Cameroon, then you don't deliberately by yourself give away the seat and the position where you for even use them for bargain on the table. But you don't decide, say, want you for be at the table. Say, we don't ever join. So how then do you rectify something will be happen for 1961? There is no remedy. If we talk now, say, we are still a trust territory. No, the trusteeship agreement was terminated. And for 1961, when they be terminate the trusteeship agreement, the United Kingdom, no complaint. The Republic of Cameroon in no complaint. The leaders of the former British Southern Cameroons like Anglophone, Endele and the rest, Estimuna, Augustine Gomjoa and the rest, they no complaint. So it was done amicably. It was years and years and decades later when Una Wuko decide now say Una want for complaint. Life does not work that way, my country people them. So we as Anglophones them need for stop for the lie to ourselves. We need for recognize this truth and the reality and activity. For 1961, we joined. And now why that way our leader, where we, for former British Southern Cameroons, where we be elected, send and for represent we. It be sit for Fumban Constitutional Conference. It be agree and accept the terms for the Fumban Constitutional Conference. Now why that way come the 1st of October 1961, John Foncha it be sit in Yaoundé as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Cameroon. He no complaint because he be accept the terms of the joining of the union. And the resolution 1608 is spelled out clearly. Say the United Nations General Assembly invites the administrative authority, the government of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon to sit or to have urgent discussions with a view to finalizing before the 1st of October 1961. Okay. So the joining was already going to happen on the 1st of October 1961. Whether una go agree or una no agree, you will join. Now with that way the United Nations, if you don't decide them for the paragraph before, where they talk say, the decision now say, with respect to Northern Cameroons, they will join Nigeria on the 1st of June 1961. With respect to Southern Cameroons, they will join the Republic of Cameroon on the 1st of October 1961. That's the decision. Now, the next paragraph where they invite the administrative authority, and on these three parties them, the administrative authority when at the United Kingdom, the John Foncha government and President Amadou Ayeje government to sit and have urgent discussions. And the reason why they talk say urgent now because say now for 21st of April 1961 and they don't give them the date, say 1st of October 1961 you will join. So that's why there was that urgency. Say you have to have urgent discussions. Now imagine for April 1961 to the 1st of October 1961, how many months they get them? About 5 months, 5.5 months, right? So now they get a meeting for Bamenda, they get another meeting for the Fumban Constitutional Conference, and they had another meeting in Yaoundé before that 1st of October. So whether una be agree or una no agree for Fumban, the joining was meant to happen by the 1st of October. No caveat in no be day. So people they can't give their academic analysis go up and down. That's just noise, and that's just your opinion. It not change way the United Nations write them on paper. Say by 1st of October 1961 you will join. So whether you reach an agreement or not, you will join by the 1st of October. And the nobody talks say when I get to first get independence and then negotiate the joining. Nowhere is that written. They talk say by 1st of October you will get independence by joining. So if you no join, no independence. You must join. That act of joining is the independence, and it will happen on the 1st of October. Nowhere has any document ever said about 2 states of equal status. It doesn't exist on any paper. What that one now, some people they are bad discussions or whatever. Make some person bring me United Nations resolution or United Nations document where it talk about 2 equal status. Besides, people the way they talk about equal status, equal in what way? Population size. The United Nations, it be work out the population for the 2 territories then, and it come to a conclusion. Now the United Nations be doing no be now we, no be now French Cameroon. Say the population of former British Southern Cameroon at that time was 800,000, and the population of the French Cameroon at that time was 3.2 million. So we were just 20% of what French Cameroon was in population. In land size, we were even less than 20%. In economic terms, not in the French Cameroon, it will come up with the conclusion, but now the United Kingdom and the United Nations, it will come up with the conclusion, say, that territory, as the Cameroons under British administration, both Northern and Southern Cameroons, were not viable to be independent by themselves. That is a fact. Now the United Kingdom, it come up with that assessment and conclusion as the administrative authority, and the United Nations, it agree, say what territory, the Cameroons under British administration, both the Northern and the Southern, it not be viable for be independent on its own. So they must join either Cameroon or Nigeria. That was not done by French Cameroon. It was done by the United Nations. Now the same United Nations where today when I want make it recognized now, and wait where when I go do now just lie about the things where the United Nations be doing for 1961, as if the people the way they write those documents they be stupid. Now United Nations it write those documents them. Now United Nations it come up with that assessment. Now United Nations it come up with resolution 1608. And then for 2024, you come out you for Bamenda or Kondo Titi, you want to go tell the person will be right resolution 1608, say they never do their job. You want to go tell the British for London, wait till where resolution 1608 it talk, when at them right arm. I mean, we need to be honest with ourselves, and until we be honest, until we come up with these realities, until we accept these realities and come up with a way of talking as Anglophones them, where we not lie and where we be in conformity with the reality we be in front of us, say the whole world recognize Cameroon as one, until we accept these truths and these realities, we are going nowhere. The Anglophone problem will continue for being a problem of Anglophones talking amongst themselves and killing themselves, and they're talking in the wilderness. No one pays attention to you. No one is ever going to open a door to you, nor is anyone going to be sympathetic to your own nonsense, because at the end of the day, you know, if they claim say this, so different man they kill you, but when they can't investigate them, they say and say, now you they kill your own people more than any other person. So, like for example, the Norwegian investigators they come for Cameroon, they can't discover say this so. Now Ayabacho they commit crimes against humanity inside Cameroon. How can you be claiming say different person commit genocide for your country, but when the investigation come, they discover say now you they kill your people, and then what the hell do you want the international community to do? So make we as Anglophones then we come to our senses before it's too late. So this one are the advice where I bring them for my own country people then. We need an Anglophone conference where all Anglophones their voices they be heard and respected. The people the way they be carry the guns, they be believe say they so through those guns, they go fit bully all man, they go fit intimidate all man, they go force all man for bend to their will. But guess what? It never work and it no go ever work. And make una no think say they so some Anglophones the day where they be more Anglophones than the others. So one go talk say they so oh because Minat, Minister of Territorial Administration and Tanga Jipo, it there for government, it there for Yaoundé. So you voice no matter. You are crazy. Or you talk to people them like the other Anglophones the way they in position of power, like Minister Fu Callistus, Pam Bayu, Minister Paul Tassong, and people the way they in government when I think say they not be Anglophone enough. No, they are also Anglophones and their opinion matters. As a matter of fact, it matters even more than some of you, because guess what? Now those people then, like the Prime Minister, Chief Dr. John Gute, and the ones that were in government, now them get that powers for influence Yaoundé on our behalf. But we need to give them the mandate. We need to respect them. We need to pull them to our side. We need to talk to them in a way where it will make them they feel like we are one. We need to bring them to our own cause, make them become part of the cause. But the mistake where Anglophones they don't make them over and over and over again. Now for things that they so, any person within in government, any person within a CPDM now your enemy. That is a mistake. And we don't do that mistake for decades now. And where are we today? How far we don't go? How far we don't go? We don't intimidate people, we don't ostracize people. And now why that way I be come up with this thing say Ambazonia terrorists, they don't know how to make friends, they only know how to make enemies. You are not going to achieve anything by just making enemies. If una like, una continue for the cry for Facebook, una scream, una meet up European person for road or for American Congress or for United Nations or whatever, una started try to teach them history, try to talk about 1961. Do that for the next 100 years. And you will be in exactly the same position. Nothing will change. I say nothing. So now my advice is for una Anglophones then, unity in purpose. And also another reason why we two-state federation no go ever work for Cameroon now, because the Southwesterners they no go ever agree make it work. If you don't believe me, when I ask any Southwesterners of any Southwesterner of influence, anyone like the first class chiefs, senators, parliamentarians, they could tell una they no go ever accept for get a political union with a Bamenda man or Northwesterner. Never. Because they don't experience marginalization when now we Anglophones, Northwesterner marginalize them. These are facts.
When Foncha now met with Ahijo in Fumban to craft the constitution, you did not see the British there, and you did not also see the United Nations represented, but you saw the French, who were not supposed to be there, accompanying Ahidjo. So what truly happened? When the British came down to basically pass over the government when we had our independence on September 30th of 1961, remember we celebrated October 1 of 1961, the British handed the flag not to Foncha but to Ahidjo, which was again a violation. Basically, they had already sold us. And then they immediately left. In these negotiations and discussions between Foncha and Ahidjo, Ahidjo went to his parliament and basically, as a dictator, told them what they had to do. And they gave the information and they passed it on to Foncha. And Foncha did not share this information with our fathers who were going to Fumban. So that when they arrived Fumban, remember, it's first of all a fake union because Britain was not there, the United Nations was not there. So, but the French were there who were not supposed to be there. When they went, they were surprised to see that Ahidjo said, according to the document that we had already given you, the people were surprised to say, which document? They had given it to Foncha and Foncha did not give them, so they never read it. So they basically hurriedly added some clauses to that constitution.
Now, another point, some people, they don't talk about the Fumban Constitutional Conference, or when they talk today, so, oh, the British, they not be there for day. Guess what? The British did not have to be in Fumban. As a matter of fact, read the resolution 1608. It talks about, they say the United Nations General Assembly invites the administering authority. If some person invite you for party, you know must go. The United Kingdom was not mandated to be at the discussions. The only thing where there be no, now say, come the 1st of October 1961, the decision where it be made by the United Nations, it talks say, by the 1st of October 1961, they go terminate the trusteeship agreement, and the United Kingdom, it go pack it back, it leave, and it go join that territory with Cameroon. That was the decision. Now the only thing that way they be no say they must do one for the Fumban Constitutional Conference. If the British, they not be there for day. Now John Go Foncha a responsibility for make sure say the British they be there for day. It not be being at the British their own. As a matter of fact, were they going there to discuss anything to benefit the British? No. After all, when I also need for understand today, so the people there for former British Southern Cameroons, they be go against the British twice in a very few years. They go against the British. First, the House of Enugu, our parliamentarians, they withdraw themselves from the House of Enugu, come them back against the wishes of the British. Secondly, for 11th of February 1961, the plebiscite, the British, they be expressly advised the people, they say, make the vote for join Nigeria. Because right from the beginning, why were the British, they be carved that territory west? Now, because they be want for just enlarge their colony of Nigeria. Now, why that way they be administer the Cameroons under UK administration, they be administer them in unity with Nigeria. They try for join that territory for make maybe one bigger British colony. So they no be get no interest for give that territory full sovereign power right from the beginning, from 1919. They no be get that interest. So they advised our people, they say, may they vote for join Nigeria. Our people, they refused. After where they don't commode them out of the House of Enugu, they create headache and confusion with the British them. So come now 1961, after they don't tell you say vote for join Nigeria, you deny you say you must go join Cameroon. Then why then did you expect the British for be there for help you for do a decision where they be against, and now you want go? So they allow John Go Foncha for go do the negotiations with one for Duam with Endele with Amadou Ahidjo. So John Go Foncha don't go get the negotiation with Amadou Ahidjo, and he negotiate two positions then for himself. So you know if you blame the British. And now for una way we not understand when we talk about the Fumban Constitutional Conference, we know say the delegation where it be come out from West Cameroon or Southern Cameroons at that time, they be more than 50 people them would also where it be 4 times more than the delegation will be come out from Amadou Ahidjo's side. For President Amadou Ahidjo's side, they be getting only about 12 representatives than for Fumban. Why were John Go Foncha's side where they come out from West Cameroon or former Southern Cameroon, they become with 50 something members them. And those people, the way they come out from former British Southern Cameroon, the one comes to 50 something of una, they come them empty hand. They don't bring no constitution, they don't bring nothing. Whereas the President Amadou Ahidjo's side, he won't come for Fumban, he be don't prepare a draft constitution. And that draft constitution, Amadu Ahijo be don't present them to the British, and he be don't give a copy to John Go Foncha. That John Go Foncha, he take that constitution, he hide them from your own people then, because of your own infighting, because he no be one make endele in no in negotiation with Amadu Ahijo. Who are you going to blame? You could still blame the British, say they no be there for Fumban. So when they talk, say no, but you know, if the British they be there for Fumban, maybe we'll forget a better deal in the Federation. Guess what? As I don't tell you now, Amadu Ahijo come for Fumban for that constitutional conference. He bring constitution where we don't prepare them weeks in advance, and if we don't give a copy of that draft constitution to the British and to John Go Foncha, if we don't give them, but John Go Foncha one come for the, he no bring a constitution.